Well, Janusz, the gap at the top is now 3 points ahead of City United tomorrow, thanks to Liverpool's 1-0 win over West Ham. But they had their nervy moments, didn't they, at Anfield?
They did. I think it was one of those where they've lost their nerve a little bit towards the end. I mean, if you remember, I mean, they had their chances a minute in, I think, minute 10 seconds. Mo Salah was perfectly saved by Łukasz Fabiański. I mean, that, I thought maybe if that goes in, the avalanche would continue, right? And it did for a while because Liverpool continued to pose problems for West Ham. But as West Ham do very often, they do stay resilient and organized, and they have number of chances, right? If you West Ham fighting for what they are fighting, which is top four, and you've got three unbelievable chances to punish Liverpool at Anfield, you've got to take one. And if you look at Fornals with that clip over, that Trent saved on the line, absolute sitter for Lanzini, you've got to take advantage of that. And then Mikel Antonio, I guess you got to thank, if you're Liverpool, Naby Keita, because that tackle was absolutely superb. So, I mean, that game could have gone differently, and our conversation certainly would have been much, much different. But in the end, Liverpool found a way, and that's all that matters.
That's the key three words, because if you're challenging for a title, there are games like that where you have to find a way. It might be poor finishing. There was some great defending from Liverpool in there as well to prevent West Ham chances. But you know what? Come the end of the season, regardless of what happens, you look back on that game, it's just got a tick. It's got a check beside that box. It's 3 points, and you're not going to release a DVD of it.
No, and of course, you know that there's a certain amount of risk the way Liverpool do play, right? And we've seen that because West Ham were able to get behind that, that line, especially on that Mikel Antonio chance, the very last one. I mean, the line of defense was on the halfway line, and Naby Keita did recover. But, you take that risk, but it also allows you to play as well as Liverpool do in that entertaining way, and allows you to score goals, allows you to win matches. And, you have to take that risk. And let's be honest here, Liverpool are still legitimately in for 4 titles. So I think you do take that risk. Yes, you're going to get punished from time to time. Now probably isn't the time. That's something that Jurgen Klopp is going to have to think about it, right? Because we'll say now, the opinions may be very similar to us. 3 points, no problem, but there will be a game where you're going to get punished, and it's just a question if you recover. But you take the good with the bad, and with the way Liverpool play and entertain and attack, it's normal that you're going to concede some chances.
Yeah, look, and the players have to realise that as well. And yes, there was frustration for Mo Salah coming off, but you've got to preserve. He can't play 90 minutes every single week, especially when they're going for 4 separate trophies. Now, I know he went off, but I want to speak to you about Salah, Mane, and Luis Diaz. What's the difference in that front three than when Firmino used to play with Mane and Salah?
Well, I think, obviously Bobby Firmino plays a different role in the build-up because he drops inside a little bit and links the midfield with the attack a little bit more. If you look at to Sadio Mane, I mean, he's one of the best in the business in terms of stretching defenses, right? I mean, his movement without the ball is exceptional. I do think that it's better when he's in a wider position, but today we all know that Bobby Firmino couldn't play. Diogo Jota, who can play that position as well, is not 100% yet. We saw that recently, even in that I think when he came on in the final against Chelsea, he's not back to normal just yet. So there is a difference in the way they play that position, but it also shows that they're all capable of playing that position.
Are they more potent with Luis Diaz or with Jota or Firmino through the middle?
I think that depends on the game and the opponent. It's very difficult to say because they haven't really had to do that, right? For the longest time, it was just Firmino, Salah, and Mane. Then Jota came in, and I don't know how many were giving him a chance to be as significant as he has been, Mark, right? And he showed that he can play centrally, he can play on the left, and now comes Luis Diaz as well. So I think you're going to see, Bobby Firmino has had his issues, but I still do think that there's going to be a game or two this season where he's going to play a significant role, but he's probably the odd one out. And then there's a competition. I think, look, I mean, the best is yet to come from Luis Diaz. Look what he's done in such a short period of time. It's not easy, as we all know it. And Mark, he's box office. I mean, you saw this run today, right? When he was taken down just outside of the penalty area. I mean, just beautiful to watch. He'll be fine.
Let's talk about West Ham, because anything you get at Liverpool or Man City or these type of teams as an away side, I suppose, is a bonus. You're not really expecting anything. So that's one of these days. On another one, they could have had a point. They might even got more than that if they'd taken their chances. But ultimately, top four still their aim. Can they do it? Or do you think right now they would settle for a European spot and run?
Yeah, I mean, look, here's a couple of things. I mean, you look at this game and, with the chances, the way they play it, and, they've done a tremendous job under David Moyes. We have to give him credit, not just this season, but in the last 2-3 seasons. But there are no more victories or no silver linings at this stage of the season, right? Maybe if this was the second or third game of the season, you at Anfield, you come out with 3 great or 4 great chances. You say to yourself, it bodes well for the rest of the season. Right now is about points. And let's be clear here. I mean, tomorrow, most likely, they'll be in a 6th spot. I think if Arsenal beat Watford tomorrow, they're going to bypass them. Manchester United with a point, or maybe even if a win, can extend that lead on them. So as much as we want to be complimentary of the way they play today, I think players themselves and even David Moyes probably recognize the fact that the Champions League is further and further away from them. And the key point of that is that as much of a progress we've seen with West Ham, the cycle is ending. I think this is the last chance that at least in my opinion, we don't know what's going to happen this summer, but this may be the last chance we see West Ham fighting the entire season for top 4, right? Because Declan Rice, who obviously was missed today, and even Jared Bowen today got injured. Who knows what the future is for those two, and they're not going to be easy to replace. There may be another 1 or 2. So this is critical. It was a critical win. They played well, but they came out of it with nothing to show for, and may get even punished further tomorrow.
Finally, bigger picture, do you think West Ham will regret not adding a striker in the January transfer window, given the lack of form, the paucity of goals from Mikel Antonio right now?
I think they'll regret that. Yeah, they didn't get, striker would have helped, but I think they could have gotten another 1 or 2 players that could change or maybe add to the team immediately, because of what I was saying earlier. I think that should be a big regret, because look at West Ham. They basically play with the same 13 players, 14 tops, and there are games where I've seen them running on their knees.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.